Hello, photographers. My name is Spyros Heniadis, and this is where I answer your photography questions, and we learn about photography together. And it's Wednesday. We've got our first question of the week this week, which comes from Arjun Pai, who says, I've been trying to capture rays of the sun coming through the clouds looking like this. And he says, when the moment does present itself, it is a fleeting moment, and by the time I've got my settings changed, I've tried a couple of shots, but the moment is gone. So he's wondering, how do you get good photos of the rays of the light shining through the clouds like this? And it's something that's a little bit tricky, but it's not terribly difficult to do. What you need to do is expose for that light. You need to expose for the rays that are shining through the sky and the clouds. Now, one other thing you need to understand is that your camera settings won't manufacture light rays coming through the clouds. That's something that if you can see visually with your eyes, you can photograph, but if you can't see it, it's not going to be there. So when you see this phenomenon happening, what you want to do is you want to expose for those light rays in the sky, which means you probably want to be using spot metering, because if you use spot metering, then you can point your center spot, or whichever spot it happens to be, because remember, on some cameras, the metering spot moves with the focus point, but not on all cameras. But you want to put your metering spot on one of the sun rays, which is going to tell the camera to expose for the light source itself. That's what you want, because you want to see the light rays against a dark background. See, if you expose for the background is going to be lit up. It's going to be brighter, and that brightness of the background won't provide enough contrast for the sun rays to stand out against. So you need to expose for the light source, and using spot metering will be the quickest way to have your camera tell you exactly what settings you need to use. Now, a couple of things that you can do to help augment this is to shoot in manual mode or in aperture priority mode. And honestly, if it's a moment that's going to come by quick, aperture priority mode is probably a better mode, because then all you need to do is quickly dial in your aperture and let the camera set the shutter speed for you. Whereas if you're in manual mode, you're going to have to worry about your ISO, your aperture, and your shutter speed, and it might not be quick enough for you. So this is a case where shooting in aperture priority can help you, because you'll give some control back to the camera, which will make it faster for you to get your shot. Now, one of the other things that you can do is if you want to add like a sunburst effect to the light source itself, like the starburst effect, what you would want to do is use a small aperture, because a small aperture is going to cause what's called diffraction, which takes the light as it comes through the lens and sort of forces it to spray outward. And when you do that and put the light source in the corner of your frame, like up in the upper left or up in the upper right-hand corner of the frame, then what you'll get is this starburst effect because of the way the light is passing through the aperture. So that's a way you can kind of add rays without having rays in the scene. But if you want like the rays coming through the clouds, you need to actually be able to see them. Now, you can also add rays of light in Photoshop, but that's a whole nother video, and we're not going to talk about that here. So if you guys have any questions that you would like me to answer, leave them down in the comments. And then, question of the day today, what is your favorite breakfast to have on weekends? I typically have a breakfast shake with strawberries and bananas and spinach and yogurt in it, and my wife likes French toast with eggs and or bacon. Now, do me a favor, would you like this video and subscribe to my channel? If you really like this video, maybe share it with your friends. But the most important thing you need to do is get out there and take some damn photos. I'll see you tomorrow. And it's something that's a little bit tricky, but it's not actually terribly